Okay, I'm just sorting out some of the video settings. Hey Ruben, let's see, it's put on a default thumbnail from an old stream, so let me change that. Normally it doesn't actually include a thumbnail, which is weird. How's it going, everyone? I'm just gonna let people know I'm streaming, so just bear with me a moment. Let me get rid of this. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me change that thumbnail. What thumbnail should we use? Do I have an old thumbnail? Let's see. Okay, let me see. I don't have a thumbnail to use specifically, but let me grab a default thumbnail. Let's Google one. Okay, I'll go with this one. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Am I excited for the golden moment drop? I am. I'd say I'm not like excited, but I do want it because I have the full golden moment set, including the Walt Disney. So I will most likely get it just to continue completing the golden moment sets, because I said before, in my opinion, I think the golden moments are the most valuable NFTs on VeVe. But again, that's just my opinion. Michael Polyblank says he has not landed a drop this year. Yeah, that's a very fair point. There's a lot of people who have not landed a drop, and I would say that's partly due to heavily due to location and also your device. I've landed a few, mainly the blind boxes. The comics I just don't get anymore at all. I haven't landed a comic in. I think I got one comic during that week where they just did Spider-Man comics, but apart from that, I have not landed any comics. I used to always land a couple, like even on rebounds, but now I just don't get any. Is the audio okay just whilst I share this? Okay, let's just drop this on Twitter. Okay, and we will drop it in Telegram as well. Maybe I should have used StreamYard. I think with StreamYard you can actually see, we can actually place the questions asked on the kind of stream. Can I do it from here? Give us 3 bold predictions for 2022. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Let's see. One prediction is, I think the price of Omi is definitely going to be higher than what it is right now. But if you want my prediction, my price prediction for this year was 2 cents, which probably isn't as high as what some people proclaim, but I'm more conservative. The other prediction is, I believe we're going to see Omi used in a lot more platforms. So not just VeVe is going to be using Omi. I think that's going to come very soon, definitely this quarter. So not just VeVe is going to be using Omi. I think that's going to come very soon. Okay, yeah, the stream quality seems okay. And third prediction, I believe we will see the new drop system this year as well. And I believe a lot of people are going to be complaining because they can't get anything with the new system, just because a lot of people who had no chance before, now they're going to have a chance. But your chance is going to be heavily dependent on how many sets you have, or how much Omi, one of the two. Because there's no way you're going to be getting drops if you're just relying on the default one ticket entry. You're going to have to get multiple tickets by either burning Omi or having a lot of sets. Hey, are we getting a new announcement this week for Kaloscope? This week, coming up, let me think. Definitely this month. I don't know about this week. Yeah, definitely this month. The white paper, the content of it's complete, but it's with some designers right now, just formatting it and making it look nicer. The website kind of similar. There's some changes I asked to be made to it, so that's still nearly done, I think. So ideally this month, but they're quite busy with finalizing some stuff with Epiko and Ecomi. So it's the same company that does Epiko Regal, same company that helps VeVe as well, that they're helping us with some of the stuff for Kaloscope. It's Venkatesh's company, Wolf Street Strategies. So he's one of the shareholders in Orbis, which is the parent company for Ecomi. My mic sounds weird. Let me adjust it slightly and see if this is okay. Okay, I've turned my audio input capture down a bit. Does this sound okay? Just let me know in the chat if the mic sounds better now. Shahib says, what do you think are Steele's goodbyes? So I just bought a bunch of Wonder Woman Covered Girls #2. So I think I've shared this before, but I'll share it again just for the sake of why I think Wonder Woman is good. Let me see if I can drag this across. Let me make this big. Okay, there we go. Let me drag myself down here. Okay, yeah, so basically, if I go to top heroes map, let's see. Oh wait, top superheroes. Okay, yeah, so basically this map, it was like a study done by Game. Again, this is just one. Oh, okay, this is the Pinterest photo. Let me actually find where it was. I think maybe it's here. Yeah, so there was like this kind of like, it was kind of like a study. It's one source, so don't take it, as gospel. But they did this study, and Wonder Woman came up like second. Again, this is all kind of one group of countries, and based off of this is partly why when Wonder Woman FA came out, the value of it was so high, because it's just below Spider-Man. But the Cover Girls one, although it's not FA, it's like the true representation of Wonder Woman. It's not like an artist representation, and it is fairly popular. And we know all the Spider-Men do well, because Spider-Man's like one of the top superheroes in the world. And Wonder Woman coming up, you know, I wouldn't say like it's the second, but just based off of this, it comes up as second. And it's the first true representation. So compared to the price where it's at, it's around about 160 gems. When it was peaking at about 350, like I'd say right now it's a pretty good price, which is why I bought a few. But also, I prefer DC versus Marvel because Marvel has a much higher fee. Same with Disney, they've got like 8.5% fee total. So if you're trying to flip something, you need the price of it to go way higher compared to a DC collectible. Otherwise, you actually end up losing money if you flip it for just a little bit higher. So yeah, I find DC, Coca-Cola, these kind of NFTs, which would only need the 2.5% fees, to be far more, you know, flippable in this case. Okay, if I just pull this back up. Let's see, a few questions. Okay, sounds better. Thanks, Top Killer. What do you think of Omi? Do you think we will hit what 5.5 still? I'm looking to buy in. 5.5 as in 5.5 cents. Yeah, we could do. My prediction this year is quite conservative at 2 cents, but 5 cents is definitely possible this year if we hit some very good exchange listings. And also if we start getting some kind of big celebrities, you know, promoting VeVe, which kind of brings people on board with Omi. But it's more dependent, I'd say, on the Omi utility program, because I know a lot of people that have VeVe collectibles, like, you know, $1 million plus in VeVe collectibles, but they don't own a single Omi token. As soon as Omi plays a bigger role in the VeVe app through the Omi utility program, then yeah, that's gonna definitely push the price of Omi up. But at the moment, I don't see Omi breaking, you know, like going beyond 1 cent without all of the utility in the app. So let's see when all 3 phases are rolled out for Omi utility program. Would you agree that Ben Reilly Spider-Man is hyper undervalued right now? I would say Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I can't remember what the price was. I remember I had one, but I didn't have the ultra rare, and because I was just mainly looking at having full sets, I did sell my uncommon for, I think it was 1.1k, which is quite high at the time. I don't know what the price of it's right now, but you know, if it's like maybe, if it's below 700, then I would say that's a fairly undervalued price. I would place it around about that 900 range. I think 1.1k at the time, it just kind of spiked during that market bull run. Oh, short term 0.55 cents. Yeah, I think it can definitely go to 0.55, assuming the rest of the crypto market continues to dip and we don't see any new exchange listing. As soon as we see a new exchange listing, I see the price kind of pumping back to 0.8 to 1 cent. I bought one 3 days ago for 490. That's pretty good, yeah, because I sold one for 1.1k. So 490 is like less than half of that. So yeah, that's pretty decent price. I think anything that's like below half of what it peaked at, then it's a decent buy. Are you still accumulating money at these prices? Seems so. Yes, actually, yeah. I am planning to get a bit more money token this month, assuming it stays below 0.4 cents, because that is very, very low. I recently had all my money tokens unstaked because I staked them for League of Ancients tokens. So I actually need to go and claim those back. So that was about, how much was it? 10,000 tokens, something like that. Flamingo says, actually, can I show questions being asked here? Let's see. Oh, okay, I guess I can't. Flamingo says, what future utility do you see for comics? Amazing content, always look forward to your videos. Thank you, Flamingo. Comics, so definitely the obvious one is they'll be displayable in your showrooms. The other utility is going to be, well, I predict will be some form of animation in comics, because, you know, right now we just have static comics. I don't believe the kind of content of the comics will be animated. I believe it's only going to be the covers. That's my prediction. And I believe it will probably only be one cover in the set, so maybe only the secret rare gets animated, or because I think the commons, they're always going to keep true to the original physical. maybe for the secret rares, just as a kind of added bonus, they'll start animating some of those covers. But you know, outside of that, I think there's a lot they can work with the Master Collector program with comics, because that's always being revised as well. Ruben says, where do you see the value of comics going long term? So if we think about the current season that we're in, or the current season that we were in, like last season, that was technically like season 1 of comics. So all of those comics from last season, that was like the first season that we saw comics, those are all going to be, I believe, appreciating in price. Specifically, you know, the kind of really early ones like Marvel #1, Amazing Spider-Man, Journey into Mystery, you know, Marvel's one. All of that stuff is, I think, is going to be appreciating in value once comics start to kick off. Because we only saw a bull run for collectibles, we didn't really see a bull run for comics yet. Can you give light on the minting order of VeVe NFTs and IMX? Thanks. Yeah, so I think this was discussed today. So if you go on Immutascan, or if you went on it during the Mermicorno drop, about 200 Mermicornos were minted before the minting paused. We could see it on Immutascan, there was about 200 minting, and then it paused completely. The ones that were listed on the market, those, in terms of mint numbers, those were random numbers. So that suggests that the minting order doesn't really make a difference to the actual mint number in the platform. On GoChain, I believe it did, because 41 was minted before 42, and then 42 was minted before 43. I think now it's just, you know, they're minted, and the mint number doesn't really reflect it. But that's just what was kind of assumed based off of the data on the Mutascan and based off of the Mermicornos that were allowed to be listed, because the only ones that you could list were the ones that had been minted. So yeah, we'll have to see what the team says, but on GoChain at least it was definitely sequential. Omi the Clown, thank you, happy Valentine's. Thanks for that, Omi the Clown. Glad to see you're all okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the cool new updates on Ecomi Wiki. In the short term, where do you see the price of money? Back to $4 and even higher. Short term, I don't see money really going, you know, beyond $2 until the full game is out. When the full version of the game is out, then, you know, I believe we could break the previous all-time high very easily, because the market cap is so small. And at the moment, the play to earn space is filled with a bunch of projects that have given promises but haven't delivered as of yet. As soon as you start to see some of these projects build a platform that works, where users are earning from it, you know, efficiently, and if money can do that this year, you know, as they have stated, then yeah, the price of it I can definitely see going beyond $4. What do you think will be worth more in the future? Ben Reilly Spider-Man, Uncommon, or Marvel Comic #1? I think Marvel Comic #1 Common is going to be worth more, just because it's the first ever comic, both in digital and physical, kind of within VeVe space. And Marvel Comic #1, it is, you know, it's kind of like, it is a grail, even though it's a common. I consider it a grail. Milam says, howdy K, ready for tomorrow? Yeah, I am trying to be ready. I've got all my kind of tips and tricks ready, but to be honest, I am expecting I won't hit it, because during the Golden Moments drop, we had less than 1 million users apparently. Now we have 2 million, so significantly higher, but the same mint size. And I've seen the difference. I don't even get comics anymore, whereas before I used to get them. So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tough. I'm not expecting to land it tomorrow. I asked as I sold one for the other. Oh, did you sell the Ben Reilly for the common Marvel comic #1, Ruben? My preference is the Marvel comic. What golden moment you wanting more? I want the Donald and Daisy. That's my preference. In your last MA, you said self-taught yourself software. Yeah, so basically, I'll show you actually. So if you go to my channel, let me just minimize this. And Okay, let me see which tab. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if I go to YouTube and just pull up my channel, and then if I go to videos, and if I sort by oldest, so let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So this video with 6.8k views, how I got a job as a software engineer within 8 months. This is the one to check out. So just sort my videos from oldest. It's my 4th ever video. And this video I basically explain, from scratch how I became a software engineer. I did use a coding bootcamp as well after I kind of like started learning, but I don't have a computer science degree. I went from no coding to my first software engineering role in 8 months. So that's one worth checking out. Okay, and let's see. Oh, other way around. Yeah, I would probably preferred the Marvel comic #1. I think Ben Reilly Spider-Man is still good. It's definitely going to do well, but my preference is the Marvel comic #1. What is your thought on Monsta Collect through Collector Rent or Comics? For points, yes. I think comics will definitely yield a lot of points. My preference for why I prefer sets of collectibles to comics is purely because of the back in the day, like Reese did an AMA, and I think what they're going to be doing is if you have sets of collectibles, you'll be able to participate in specific airdrops or drops around that collectible set. So for example, if you've collected, at least 3 Tokidoki sets, I suspect you'll be able to participate in a special Tokidoki drop or get a Tokidoki airdrop, which could be an accessory, another collectible, just ways of rewarding collectors. I think they may do something like that with comics, but I see that coming to collectibles first, which is why my preference is collectible sets. And also I like displaying them in my showroom. Ian Essential Crypto says, put more antennas up on your roof, you'd be cool. Yeah, I need to do that. I definitely need more antennas on my roof, and I need to do more hand exercises as well. Let's see. I still have 3 Marvel Comics #1 commons and the rare. Yeah, Marvel 1 comics are kind of a good hold, I'd say. If you don't land golden moments tomorrow, are you going to buy on the market? No, I will not buy it straight after. I normally wait about 3 to 4 hours when the market price has dipped, and then it slowly comes back up. So I will wait and see if the market prices dip around. And I think they should. People are going to list it for ridiculous prices after the drop. I don't think those prices will probably be justified if it's like, like 3K and whatnot. I think it should be a bit lower because it is, not technically a Series 1 golden moment either. Why does VeVe allow multiple accounts? If you get caught botting, can't you just create more accounts? Having a second account is very different to botting. I think part of the reason why they allow it is because you can't really tell if someone has a second account, and also if you're using like multiple phones and you've got multiple accounts on them, as long as you're not like using some kind of software that gives you an inhuman advantage, I think they don't consider it serious enough to be ban worthy. And also it's very, very difficult to kind of identify if, someone has a physical person next to them that's doing the account versus, their second hand, for example. So it's not something that can really be detected. But if you're using a script or some software, that can be detected, and yeah, that also gives you an inhuman advantage, so that will get you a ban. Really hoping I can snag one on the drop. Only got enough gems set aside from Milham. Yeah, I'm hoping I get it on the drop as well. I'm not expecting to land anything on the drop, but I'm hoping I do. Do we know what the odds will be of getting a drop based on how many sets we have? Saib says, I would say we would need to wait and see when the Master Collector program and the wagering system comes out and how many active users we have at then. If it came out today with 2 million users, and if the edition sizes don't really change much, then you've got less than like a 0.1% chance of landing in something. Less than 1% chance. If you can wager a decent amount of points, then your chance probably increases to like 5-6% if you're wagering a decent amount of points. And that would probably be with like maybe 30 to 40 sets. Would your dream job be working for VeVe? No, definitely not. I would not be working for VeVe. I did actually look at a job opening they had like last year, April. I saw the salary and I saw the requirements. Firstly, the salary, I would have had to take a 50% pay cut for a software engineering role there. They pay less. And also, I know the demands of the role because I use the VeVe app, and given just how many things they're dealing with, I prefer to have my own time. Also, I have my own tech startup that I'm working. Well, it's not my tech startup. I work for a tech startup that's launching NFT projects as well. Digital spaces. It's called Kaloscope. We're partnered with quite a few partners. We work with one of the advisors for Ecomi. He's also a shareholder in Orbis, which is the parent company for Ecomi. And they have their own project as well called Epiko Regal, which is now partnered with Ecomi. They haven't released the PR for it yet, but their CEO just decided to post about it for fun. He asked David about it, David Yu, if he could post, and David Yu's like, feel free to post on other platforms, just not Twitter, because Twitter is where they get spammed the most. But there should be PR from it coming out from Ecomi this month, end of this month. That's the plan. Again, it depends if they get all of the information together in the article before they release that. So yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff in it, I believe. Is there a token for the company? No, there's not. Not yet. The reason why is because two reasons. One is it's a utility token. We're not allowed to sell a token until we have utility in place for it. Other projects, they do sell a token before building the platform. That means your project won't be compliant in the United States. It probably doesn't matter in other geographies, but we want to be global. So we need to make sure that we are compliant in every geography, including the US, which is why we need to build a platform first. And a platform, early iterations for it, we're looking, kind of expecting probably end of next month. That's the plan. Again, that's all kind of dependent on everything else that's around it. But when it comes to the project, we do have some very very strong partners, so we can kind of get by with kind of private equity right now. We don't need to raise funds publicly. But the other thing is we want to make sure the tokenomics are solid, so anyone who does get in early, it's kind of like whale proof, and yeah, we want to make sure that there's utility there for the holders. We don't want people buying a token and then holding it with nothing to do for ages. So that's why we're not releasing a token yet. We want the platform side to be solid before we do that. Only small percentage of mints will be for master collector program point. Yeah, there's going to be like a allocation available for people who are wagering points, and then the rest will be like public. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth doing that if you want a higher chance of getting in. Ruben says, I'll definitely be invested for sure if and when that's possible. Yeah, sure, yeah. If you follow the Kaloscope Twitter page, I'll just show you guys quickly. So if we go to, let's see. Yeah, all you need to do is, this is the page, Kaloscope Twitter. So this is managed by some of the community managers. I just kind of post on here occasionally, like comment. But we do have these cool portals, which are like kind of like entrances to a metaverse digital space. And then within here, you have like your own digital space where you can display your NFTs. And this first one is with Aradina. So this is actually, you can see, this is with an Oculus Quest that you have on. So whilst you're wearing your Oculus Quest device, you can walk around in your room, and you'll be able to invite other people into your room to hang out in here, and you can like stick up your NFTs, and then you'll be able to stake these NFTs as well, which is quite cool. So the room itself is an NFT, so not everyone can have this room. And this is all based around Aradina, which is one of our first partners. So Aradina, if you haven't seen, they are a pretty big NFT project now. They were in top 10 in OpenSea recently. Some of their NFTs they've been selling for quite ridiculous amounts. I think like one of them recently sold for like 16 ETH, which is like over $30,000, which is pretty mad. It was one of their warriors. And yeah, they're doing really well now. They're another UK-based project. Although our project is UK, Dubai, and Singapore, we've got an office in Dubai. We've also got company set up in Singapore now. So yeah, expect to see some cool stuff. One of our partners that we're working with, they've launched the Metaverse, which is like a physical lounge / restaurant on the top of this tower in Dubai. You know, they've had like huge coverage from big brands that want to partner and do like kind of events there. And when I say big brands, you know, I mean big brands, like ones you will probably see like, you know, everywhere. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, let's just maximize this again. So let's see. Could you see Kaloscope using Omi? Wes says, could I see Kaloscope using Omi? Let's see. How do I answer that? Okay. We'll come back to this end of the month and see what happens. But as of now, I'll say it's possible. Leon says, do you think VeVe NFTs will pump sooner or later? It depends. If they keep dropping some big brand NFTs, then probably later. If they pause on dropping the big IPs, then yeah, I think the market will pump just because we have gem squeezes whenever there's a big drop. When pass staking, for Kaloscope pass staking, the earliest iteration of pass staking, I believe, will be for token allocation. So when you stake your pass, you accumulate points, which will give you an allocation in pre-sale tokens, which are going to be lower price than the public sale, so you kind of get a cool discount if you're staking your pass, as well as staking other NFTs. So I believe that is going to be next quarter is when the IDO is. What's your exit strategy for VeVe long term? I don't really have an exit strategy because I haven't really thought about exiting VeVe. But if I need money, I'll just sell an NFT, assuming I have kind of exhausted all my other avenues, assuming I like really need some kind of capital. But outside of that, you know, if you mean exit strategy as in how I flip on VeVe, then yeah, I usually buy a few collectibles that I believe are undervalued, like maybe 5 or 6. I'll wait for the price to increase by about 50%. And then I'll sell like half of them, get my initial back, and then I'll carry on holding. And then when I need gems for something I really want, then I'll sell the others. So I've done this for like Marvel Comics #1. I've done this for Amazing Spider-Man comics. I've done this for, you know, like the Bruce Timm Harley Quinns. I'm stacking Wonder Woman now, Cover Girls #2, because that's very, very, like, compared to the FA Wonder Woman, that's like really low price right now. And it's kind of like the first true representation of Wonder Woman as well. So I think that one is definitely gonna get a lot of attention. Let's see. Do I hold XRP from Ruben? I used to hold a lot of XRP. XRP was one of my first tokens. I was buying it back when it was like, you know, 2 cents. And then I held it all the way to like, you know, $2 something back in 2017. And I held it all the way back down to the bottom. But I kind of exited XRP just because it was probably more to do with the community. I guess I just didn't like, the community felt very like cultish. It was like, you know, this community that was obsessed with XRP becoming the new reserve currency of the world. And also the lawsuit. I just didn't see the price moving very much with the lawsuit. And I didn't want to miss out opportunities in play to earn and NFTs and stuff. So I just sold all my XRP and just kind of went into Omi and other NFT-based tokens. What do you think the top value of Todd Batman will be end of year? whatever the value is right now, multiply that by the number of expected users by the end of the year versus current users. So users are expected to triple by the end of the year. So whatever the value of Todd is right now, just triple it. So I think it's like 9,000 gems. So maybe like 25,000 gems maybe by end of the year. But we'll see. That's just assuming linear growth. But we don't know if they're going to be really, really big IPs, which is going to drag the price of Todd down. But I'd say comfortably probably at least double. When are we going to start seeing important things in Kaloscope, like partners, important investors? So some of the partners are being revealed slowly. I would say you're probably not going to see names of big investors until the token is out. Part of the reason why that is because there's no reason to announce that until there is something for users to participate in. If we drop the names of all the partners and investors right now, like, it's not going to be beneficial because there's no token trading. There's not really anything outside of the diamond passes. There's no platforms. There's just no benefit in revealing that stuff right now. But once we kind of get some of the content out there for users to use, then we can start revealing more names. But yeah, one of the big names was the Great Green Wall project with the World Economic Forum and backed by the United Nations. That's pretty big. But having that news out there, it interests a lot of big investors, a lot of institutional investors, but there's no product yet. So we don't want to kind of give people a token or something to invest in without the full product, just because we're going to get the same constant questions of when are you guys going to release the platform and product and whatnot. So yeah, we just want to make sure that the infrastructure's there before we release more kind of news, basically. So partnership between Kaloscope and VeVe is confirmed. Are we going to be able to put our NFT? There's no partnership confirmed between Kaloscope and VeVe. There is a partnership with Kaloscope and Epiko Regal, and Epiko Regal is releasing details between what they're doing with Ecomi next. Well, Ecomi is releasing those details very soon. That's the plan. But with Kaloscope and VeVe or Kaloscope and Ecomi, there's nothing that's been put out there. I'm just going to make that clear. But is there scope for something like that? We'll have to wait and see. But one of the advisors for Ecomi is on the Kaloscope team. So there's you can see that there is definitely some kind of influence there, but I can't really speak on that. What potential future VeVe drop holds most nostalgic value for me? Ooh, probably Ultraman. Ultraman was my first drop. Any strategies? Oh, thanks VeVe Vault for the $5 donation. Really appreciate that. Do you think the minting order is going to be a big deal? Let's see. So mainstream users aren't going to care. And I think VeVe is going to start attracting a lot more mainstream users with their PR. I'm kind of expecting, kind of like adverts during events like the Super Bowl, that kind of thing. Hardcore crypto users probably will care a bit, but I think it's probably not going to be as big of a deal as people suspect. There's been a lot of kind of very heavy blockchain related things that people just forget about. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal, but we'll see. For me, I don't really mind that much because I like things that look cool. I don't really care too much about mint numbers and whatnot. For people who are really obsessed about that stuff, then yeah, probably it will affect them a bit, and they're gonna make a fuss about it. But for me, I probably don't, but I'm probably more of a from VeVe's standpoint, I'm probably more of a collector type of person rather than a crypto head. Any strategy during crypto bear market, DJDS? Yeah, if there's a crypto bear market, that's when I buy. That's the obvious strategy. But apart from that, that's when you accumulate, really. And dollar cost average, that should be the obvious one. When do you think Omi to NFTs coming to VeVe app? Also, is there anything stopping Omi to get listed on any exchange right now? I'd say there's nothing really stopping Omi from getting listed in exchanges now that they're on ERC20. So the exchange side, I think, is all good. When do I think Omi to NFT is coming? I think that is the second phase of Omi utility program. I can't remember. So let's wait and see until we get the first phase, which is staking. And then once we've got that, I'd say probably 1 quarter after that, so 3 months after we get that, that's when I suspect we'll probably get Omi to NFT. But that's my guess. I heard Kirk say it would be cool to have Batman and other VeVe NFTs as avatars. Let's see. Yes, that should be possible. So once VeVe NFTs are interoperable and you can move them to OpenSea, that basically means the IP is out there in the open. So you can actually use your VeVe NFTs within other platforms like OpenSea or anywhere they can be listed. And that includes, you know, platforms where you can display them in. So a Kaloscope space would probably work. Now, it would probably be the 2D asset, not the 3D digital collectible, because VeVe's not allowing the 3D asset to leave the app. I believe it's only going to be like a 2D picture. So yes, using the collectible wherever you want because you own it, that's perfectly fine. But a third-party platform would not be allowed to recreate that IP within their platform because they need licensing for that. So, you know, these other platforms, which may allow you to project the NFT, that's perfectly fine because that's just another way of displaying it because you own it. So you can do that if you want, but you can't like recreate the IP and then sell it because you don't own the IP just because you own the NFT. VeVe says, I think you're right, normal people don't care. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think most people on VeVe will be mainstream users kind of getting into NFTs the first time because NFTs as a subject, I think it's going to become more well known and start to blow up. So that's what I think is going to happen. And because of that, people who aren't involved in crypto or NFTs previously, they're going to see VeVe as kind of like the easiest platform to get involved in. Let's see. What's your outlook prediction for Monsta Infinite and what's your investment strategy for money? So right now I've paused cloning just because the price of money was dropping, which meant cloning wasn't really profitable for me. So instead I started buying money tokens. So my strategy is actually to continue accumulating money, and every time they have an IDO, where you stake your money tokens on their kind of IDO platform, I'll just get whatever you can get because the staking for money tokens allows you to get really, really cheap tokens for whatever new upcoming project they have, especially if it's another play to earn one. So I got, you know, League of Ancient tokens, and even though their token dropped a lot, I'm probably still up about 2x based on when I got those tokens. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Let's see, how much did you pay for the partner statue? I bought my partner statue on retail for 333 gems. Let's see if we can actually find that video of me getting that partner statue, because I did take a video of it and I think it's a really cool video. So let's actually find that one. It's on my Twitter page, so I'm gonna try and find that. Let's see. I think I used the keyword movie. It should be in my profile, actually, not this. How do I search my profile? Let's see. Is there a simple way to search my profile? Let's see. I can't remember how I search my profile. It's probably under tweets. Nope. Okay, I used the word movie. Okay, if I do... Okay, I can't actually remember how. I'm pretty sure there was a way to search through my tweets, but I just can't seem to. Twitter ads, no. No, maybe explore. How do I search my own tweets? I know I can search other people's tweets. Nope, not there. Okay, it'll be under media, I think. It should be under media. Let's go. Okay, that's February. I believe when partners dropped, it was November. So let's see if we can scroll back to November. January, let's see. We are now in still January. Okay, if we keep scrolling. Still January. Okay, come on, take me to partners. Yeah, I uploaded the video the day the partner statue dropped, and it was a really cool video. Okay, still January, one more month to go. I know there was a way to search through my own Twitter, I just can't seem to find it right now. Okay, December. Wow, I post a lot of screenshots. This is probably when I used to get drops. I've definitely, like, comics are impossible for me now. I just cannot get any comics on VeVe. I can still sometimes get blind boxes, but it's a lot rarer now. I don't get them like all the time like I used to. It's too much competition. Let's see, we are now in December. Okay, my hand's getting tired from scrolling, but we're nearly there. We got this picture of Easter. Okay, we are coming up to mid-November, which is when the partner statue happens. So let's see. 24th, nearly there. 20th November, okay. And that was Decon. Oh, Decon. Oh, here we go. Okay, I found it. Yes. So let's maximize that. Okay, actually, oh, I am. Let me pull this down to this screen here. Oh, which screen do I have it on? Oh, okay. So yeah, let me drag it onto here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So what I'll do is I'll minimize this a bit. Okay, so here's my partner statue drop. Oh, so you can see it's sold out. Let me just go back to that. So it's sold out. You can see in the bottom right hand corner. And I was doing the tabbing in and out trick. So you can see I tabbed in and the buy now button was right there and I got it. This was like my best drop ever. Like, and you can see if I pause it, it's showing as 8 minutes. So I got it on, oh, was it 8-minute rebound or before I got it on a 16-minute? Oh, okay, it must have been 8-minute rebound I hit it on. I was thinking I got it on a 16-minute. But yeah, there you go. You can see that I managed to hit it. 10 gems left in my wallet, so I had just enough for this one. But yeah, that was my best drop, so I'm pretty happy with that. Definitely cannot complain. Oh no, I did write 8 minutes. 8 minutes in and we did it. Holy damn, looks like meat's back on the menu. Yeah, so that one was a really, really good drop for me. Okay, so let's see. Ruben says, oh yeah, so Andy says, hi Kate, Terra Virtual rewards their prestige members with NFTs each month. When VeVe will do this? I think what VeVe, so on VeVe's old roadmap, right, is they basically talked about a subscription model. Let me see if I can find that, because that is actually a very old very old article that is kind of like more for historical purposes. So it should be, if I just do reskellen, maybe media. If I type in frames, maybe. I think frames was like one of the things in it. Unless he's taken it down. Okay, here's his medium. And can we sort this from oldest? Okay, so Reese's post. Okay, this is Ecomi's one. Where's Reese? Oh wait, no, this is Reese. Yeah. Oh, okay, so Reese is publishing these. Oh, okay, that's gonna take ages. Yeah, this. It was here somewhere. There was like an article which kind of explained this subscription model, but I don't know if they scrapped that or if it's ever going to be implemented. But I think like every month you get like rewards, and one of those was supposed to be like a golden gem which you could use to redeem NFTs. I don't know if they're going to ever do that, but yeah, it was somewhere on Reese's Medium page. If you can find it, then yeah, it's a really, really old one though. Do you have a particular strategy for you're thinking of for the new drop system from Flamingo? Yes, I've been planning for that for a long time. That is to get as many collectible sets as possible and to pretty much just you know, go ham on the drops. That is my plan. Let's see. Any update on Epiko Games, Gun to Heisenberg? Let me think. Oh, actually, yes, Epiko. So, Epiko Regal is really interesting in the way they've done things. So, what a lot of projects do is they will release NFTs and say you can use these NFTs in a game they're making, and then they'll release a token, you buy the token, and then you're sat there waiting for the game. And the game probably gets delayed and delayed because, you know, there's so many uncertainties. And I've seen this in a lot of projects, you know, like League of Ancients, Monster Infinite, Illuvium as well. People have been waiting for the game for a long time. But Epiko Regal, what they did is they did the reverse. They released the game without the NFT integration, and they're basically allowing people to play the game and gaining like valuable data. They're doing all the bug fixing now, so that when they do the NFT integration, that's when the mainstream kind of NFT crypto users come in. They'll be coming into a game that's already there, that's already kind of fully functioning, without having to deal with, you know, all the bugs that brand new games usually have. Because I guarantee that, you know, when all these new games come out, like Monster Infinite, you know, League of Ancients, Illuvium, they're going to be riddled with bugs. Like, people are going to find so many exploits because things just work differently in production, in like the real world, compared to when you're testing. And we've seen that a lot with VeVe. You know, when VeVe tests things, it looks all good from like, you know, their software testing, and then as soon as real users, you know, mass real users start using it, things go wrong. And, you know, the fact that they've released the app that they're using, which currently does have some bugs, and they're fixing those when the NFTs come into it, it's going to be a much more enjoyable experience. So yeah, Epiko, I think, is going to definitely surprise a lot of people. Try your username search term. Oh yes, yeah, that should work. But yeah, I end up finding it anyway. But yeah, thanks for that, Ruben. Halftime show will be over before Kay finds this. Oh, yeah. I mean, I found it now, so it's okay. Please answer honestly, consider that VeVe is a centralized project, which for some may opposite points. What does it worry you? Leon says VeVe is centralized. No, it doesn't worry me because I knew that from the start. People who come into VeVe thinking it's fully decentralized, like, you haven't done your research. You clearly haven't done your own research. So yeah, people coming to VeVe should know that it is partly centralized, but the parts that matter, I guess, are kind of decentralized. So for me, I don't care about, you know, having my NFTs on a MetaMask specifically, because all of the utility is in the VeVe app. And I'm not worried about, you know, getting banned or whatnot, just because, you know, I don't use any kind of illicit methods in the app. That's why I happily share my account details, like, and mint numbers and stuff, because I know I'm not at risk of anything. But yeah, you kind of have to be centralized if you want to work with Marvel and Disney and these big brands. So being centralized partly is what's going to help them grow massively. But at the end of the day, the NFTs are still on a blockchain. They're still NFTs. So that part is decentralized. It's just what can you do within the app that's a bit more centralized. So yeah, it's not a worry for me. I think it's what's gonna have a huge return for OMI token holders. Back then it was every 2 minutes, so it's like 16 now. Yeah. What's your price prediction for money by end of year? If they don't release the game, then probably like $1 once the market recovers. If they release the game, then I could even with token unlocks and things like that, I'd say realistically we could hit like $7-8 when the game is out and the token has a use case. King Tech says, when cash out, you can cash out already, only if you're an alpha tester. And the alpha testers is the same group of people who did the alpha testing for the VeVe app before they launched that publicly in October back in 2020. So yeah, you can actually cash out right now, but you have to be an alpha tester. But I think beta testers come in soon. So we'll see who gets to be a beta tester there. Ruben says, thanks, Kay. Yeah, thanks, Ruben. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm going to keep going for another 5 minutes. I'll take another 5 minutes of questions. Potfish, is OpenSea the only place to get Diamond Pass? Yes, it's the only place to get Diamond Pass. There are no more Diamond Passes. All of them are now, belonging to users, people. And the Diamond Pass will never be sold again. Neither would the Gold Pass. There was some for sale from Kaloscope, but they were all burned because that was, part of the kind of event. So yeah, if you ever want a Diamond or Gold Pass, you're gonna have to buy it on OpenSea from someone who's selling it. Andy Singh says, when DC Comics, VeVe turning into Disney Marvel app? I do. So DC Comics, that's going to be, I believe, like a separate license. Right now they have the license for like the collectibles. They're going to have to renegotiate a license to do the comics for DC. And we don't know if DC wants to stay with VeVe for the comic side, or if they want to do it themselves, if they want to go with a third party, like another VeVe kind of competitor. I think just because VeVe's done so well, it only makes sense for them to use VeVe for the comics as well. So I suspect VeVe will be the platform they go with for comics. Do you think VeVe getting acquired by Disney? Yes, it is possible, but I don't think VeVe is going to be acquired by anyone anytime soon. Because I know that David does not want to sell VeVe because he's quite passionate about it. It depends on his other shareholders as well, but David as an individual, I think he's having quite a fun time with VeVe, and he's gone through a lot to get VeVe where it is. So I personally don't think that they're looking to sell VeVe anytime soon. Is 30k money token still my goal? Yes, it is. Yeah, I am more than halfway there. I need to double check. I think I'm on like 20 something thousand, like 21, 22,000 money tokens. Okay, so we'll take a couple more questions. Got a few more minutes. What Flamingo says, what anime NFT are you most looking forward to? So anime NFTs, I would say Naruto, Bleach, the more recent ones like Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. Yeah, those ones I'm really looking forward to. Dragon Ball Z, obviously, another OG one. I think they'll do Dragon Ball Z because Alfred Khan, he also did a lot of Shonen Jump licensing, and Dragon Ball Z is Shonen Jump, as well as Naruto, as well as Bleach, as well as One Piece. So I think those ones we may see. And also Toy Tokyo does do statues for those as well. Do you think Disney NFTs will be interoperable so that you can use them in the Disneyverse? I believe it is a smart move for Disney to do that. I think they will. Yeah, Disney's definitely aware of the potential of VeVe, and the fact that they're doing more golden moments, even though that, ex-Disney whoever guy, he said that, the Disney golden moments were a one-time promotion. Clearly they're not, because Disney then did the lenticular cards, Disney is now doing more golden moments. And Alex himself said that, you know, VeVe's got a kind of big roadmap of drops with Disney. So I suspect we're going to see a lot more Disney stuff in VeVe. Definitely guaranteed. Okay, so we'll take probably one more question. KJ, Monster Infinite C, you've put 1,000 BNB on the line. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to that. I'll get some free BNB if it doesn't. But yeah, top 200 project would definitely put it like over $10 a token, which I think is very possible if they've already planned out their roadmap and they think the game is achievable and it's got very solid tokenomics. All of the FUD's just going to be destroyed and that token will pump heavily. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that should be good to see. Okay, if there's any more questions, otherwise we'll end it in the next minute or so. Okay, last question from Ekatel. Hi K, do you think the majority of users will swap Omi for NFTs or NFTs to Omi once available? I think what they're going to be doing, very interesting, so they're going to be doing both. So a lot of the whales, and then even though I'm not a whale, I'm going to be doing this as well. So when the price of Omi goes high, I'm probably going to pick up, you know, some floor NFTs of NFTs I think are undervalued, because the dollar amount of Omi is going to be worth more, so the collectibles will be a bit cheaper to get in ratio. When the price of Omi drops, so the dollar amount that I can use to get Omi, you know, I'm getting more Omi per dollar, then I will swap some of my NFTs to Omi, the same ones that I kind of bought on the floor. And so I'll just keep repeating that until I kind of like, you know, make like maybe 10-15%, whatever it is per kind of cycle. And I'll just repeat that. And that's like a strategy that I believe a lot of people are going to be using. And it works very well if you can get like the floor price of, you know, collectibles that are fairly undervalued at the time. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Last one from Leon. One last, I swear, Todd or Riso. I would probably go with Todd just because it's the first NFT on VeVe. So yeah, I don't actually own Todd or Riso, surprisingly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll probably do a few more of these at some point. I'll try and upload some more videos this week just because it is pretty busy for me right now. But yeah, we will end it there. And yeah, hopefully see you guys soon.